Welcome to Friday Beyond Spotlights. My name is Nick Chen, a lawyer and lawmaker. I'm your host for this episode. Today's guest is the Secretary for Security of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, the Honourable Mr. Chris Tang, GPS, PDSM, JP. Secretary Tang, welcome onto our show.
Hi Nick.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks for having me here. Just call me Chris. You don't have to quote, a long title.
Thank you, you're very kind. Chris, is Hong Kong a fair, transparent, stable and safe place for local and international businesses to feel welcome, thrive and to prosper?
I think the answer is definitely yes. So first of all, you can look at some objective figures, right? So the crime rate in Hong Kong, I think, is one of the lowest among the major cities in the world. I think it's as low as Singapore. And when you look at the crime rate, Paris is about 2 times of Hong Kong, Toronto is about 5 times, and London is about 10 times. Right? And I think everyone will feel safe to walk at the street in Hong Kong in every time of the day. Compared with some of the cities like New York, I don't think you will feel safe to walk around here.
Chris, what is the relationship between national security and economic prosperity?
I think security and stability is the basis for economic development. I think no one will invest in a war zone, right? So when you look back at 2019, where petrol bombs are flying all around and the shops are being vandalized and even set fire, I don't think no people will enjoy doing business in this kind of environment.
Well, do locals, expatriates alike, business leaders, international business chambers, representatives and the diplomatic corps, do they support the local government, the Hong Kong government and the Legislative Council in proposing and passing the Safeguarding National Security Bill into law? In
my interaction with them, I would say that most of them do support the Article 23. Even some of the foreign consul general, because of political reasons.
Yes.
Even they have some concerns, but they still have to recognize that we have a constitutional responsibility to enact the Article 23.
Has there been a public response and is it overwhelming one way or the other?
In the consultation result, we have about over 13,000 response, right? And 98.6% do support the enactment of Article 23.
In talking to business chambers, do they ask any particular questions that they would like to have more answers and more comfort before they fully put their weight behind it?
Initially, they have some concerns about state secrets. What is the definition of state secrets? And external interference. They worry about, will I do business with overseas entity, there will be any problem? And after my explanation about state secret, it's not just the interaction. It's you do not have the legal authority. And the things that you talk about will likely endanger national security.
Right.
I'm sure everyone doing business here, they come here just to do business. They're not come here to endanger national security. What do they have to worry about?
How do you draw the right balance between economic prosperity and national security, particularly in the areas of protection of human rights guaranteed by the Basic Law of Hong Kong?
So basically, security and stability is not against economic development. They go alongside, they're having the same goal.
Yes.
But of course, you're talking about human rights in the Basic Law, also even in the National Security Law, and in Article 23, we all have across that to ensure that human rights are being protected in accordance with the 2 major international covenants.
Are the freedom of assembly, freedom of press, freedom of publication, are these all being protected?
So of course, under Basic Law and also National Security Law and also our local, Article 23, so the right of speech, gathering, press freedom, they're all guaranteed.
And what about access to lawyers? Is that protected?
Of course, it's spelled clearly in the law that our common law system will be the same.
Presumption of innocence?
So of course, you have access to lawyer. Everything has to be dealt in accordance with law, and before you're being convicted, you're still presumed to be innocent. That's all common law principle will be there.
I saw some of the Western government-funded media talked about the definition of state secrets or national security. They some of them tend to suggest, oh, you didn't fully define it. Could you exhaustively define it? Is that the normal way to doing things in common law jurisdictions?
I think first of all, the national security is clearly defined in the law. It's spelled out in full.
Right.
Right. I think it's one of the clearest definition in the world, I would say. And also for state secret, actually we also spell out very clearly there's 3 elements. You have to be disclosed without legal authority, and then you have to be very likely endanger national security,
Yes.
and then you have to fall within 7 particular type of area.
Ah.
So even the things that you're talking about fall within state secrets. And in order to commit an offense, you still have the intention to endanger national security. So I would say there's so many safeguards. If you are not really intend to endanger national security, then you won't commit offense, of course.
But how do you prove
So of course, it is up to the prosecution to prove beyond reasonable doubt before we can proceed with the prosecution and convict it in court. It's our responsibility to prove it in courts.
Are there any defenses to unlawful disclosure of state secrets?
All right. So as you can see, initially in our consultation paper, we do not have such a provision of exemption. During the consultation period, because we realize that some countries do have some exemption when it comes to the public interest of not disclosing is bigger than disclosing, right? So in fact, during the consultation period, we have listened to the opinion, and also during the bills committee stage, we also receive comments from the members. So eventually, we do have such a provision. But I would say national security is a very important aspect of our daily life, and in order to protect our country. So even there's an exemption, it will be the threshold will be very high. So things like gossip or curiosity doesn't make it as a public interest.
So there will continue to be free flow of information, free flow of capital.
Of course.
On June 30th, 2020, the national legislature passed into law the national security law, which is implemented in Hong Kong on the same passed into law under Annex 3, implemented on the same day. Can you share why we still legislate under Article 23 of the Basic Law?
All right, so the national security law, it only governs 4 offences. Right, so in fact, under Article 23, there are 7 offences, and 2 are covered by the NS law, but 5 remains untouched. So there's a need. And when you look back at the real scenario, like what happened in 2019, obviously the 4 offences under NS law is not enough. And yet, I think the enactment of Article 23 is not just to supplement the 5 offences. And we also have to look at the whole legal system and the enforcement mechanisms, see how we can further improve so that to enhance our national security. This is all under the national security law, and also the basic law, and also under the 528 decision.
Can you highlight some of the key philosophical approach or provisions in the law?
First of all, we have the constitutional responsibility, but it's not just because of the responsibility. Yes. We have to face of real scenario like what happened in 2019.
Yes.
The failed attempt of the Hong Kong version of Colour Revolution. You have to prevent such things being happen again, right? So this is the first principle. And the second principle is not just to cover the 5 remaining offences. Is we have to look at the whole. How to, out of the Article 23, out of the national security law, and also the 528 decision, how to further improve the legal system and our enforcement mechanism as a whole, so that our national security can be better taken care of. And the third principle, it is a moving law, it's an evolving law, so that apart from that we can handle the situation at the moment, and we are able to handle the future threats. The last principle is that we have to safeguard the human rights and other rights of people in the process of enacting Article 23. In
passing the bill into law, do you think we're too fast and too harsh?
I don't think so, because unlike in back to 2003, because over the years, in particular after 2019, people in Hong Kong do have a consensus that we need to have a better law to protect our national security. So there's a high consensus among the people of Hong Kong that we need to enact such law. And in fact, since the announcement of the enactment of the law by the Chief Executive in his policy address, we received a lot of opinion from different walks of life. And in our formulation of our first draft of the law, the consultation paper, we have incorporated a lot of the opinion from the public. So I would say the time it's just good enough, not too long, not too short, it's appropriate.
That's great. Chris, Hong Kong is such a safe and beautiful city. How does the Security Bureau keep Hong Kong safe?
I think it's not just the Security Bureau. I think it's a concerted effort of the whole government and of my law enforcement agencies and also all the people of Hong Kong.
Place good.
Yes, you can see here.
Hey, hello, Mr. Tang.
Hey, hello, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, hello, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Tang, thank you for your great work doing for Hong Kong.
Oh, it's thanks for a kind word, and it's my duty and honor. And how do you find living in Hong Kong?
Oh, I love it. This is a safe place to raise my 4 boys and the dogs.
Okay, I think it's also because we have great people like you living in this city.
Thank you, Mr. Tang. I know you are so busy at work. How do you allocate your time and your family?
Actually, it's quite difficult to have my work-life balance. I think I can only sacrifice my resting time, and that's all.
Thank you very much for your great work.
Okay, enjoy. Bye bye. Bye bye. Enjoy.
Bye bye. Welcome back to Friday Beyond Spotlights. We have with us today the Secretary for Security of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, the Honourable Chris Tang. In this show and tell segment, Chris will show us an item that has a special meaning or significance to him. Chris, could you show us this very
Hi,
special
Nick.
item?
So actually, this is a police bear. It's
cute.
my character, right?
Wow.
All right. This teddy bear, it represents me. In fact, it's a character played by me in a promotional video that we took in 2020.
Oh, remember that one?
That one was
Yes.
directed by Mr. Dental Lam.
Yes.
And the story is talking about, a group of terrorists holding hostages with a will to release their leader. But of course, after the action of our elite units,
Yes.
the bad guys are all being catch, and we uphold the safety of Hong Kong.
This is you in the movie.
This is me.
In
In fact, I only
film.
appear in the episode for 1 second, and I play a role
1
of
second?
a police constable.
Oh.
But the message I want to take out is, no matter even your role is small, but your implication is big. So this is the message that I want to get across.
That's fantastic. May I?
Sure.
So cute.
You can see the number.
Is this your number?
106 is my number.
Wow. Wow. Terrific. What is your philosophy as a leader, then as a Commissioner of Police, and now as a Secretary for Security?
All right. So I think I have played a different role in, as a Commissioner of Police and as Secretary for Security. When I was in the police force, it was at a time of crisis. A leader need to be someone that you can rely on, and I will tell you to do whatever things that I can do it myself, and I will go to the forefront and show to the people that the danger that you are facing, I'll face it as well. So I think this is very important.
You ran to the front line, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. I still remember, after the election of the district council, it's really hostile. It's because all those district council are being, hold hostages, I would say, by those oppositions, right?
Yes, yes.
But a police commander, they have to attend to those district council meeting. And those opposition, they spelled out very clearly that we are going to humiliate you
Yes.
in those meetings.
Yes.
So as a Commissioner of Police, I attend the first few district council meetings. I show how we spell out, the truth in a humble but in a firm manner.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But as a Secretary for Security, and I think apart from operational issues, I have to look at things like in a bigger picture, in like the coordination of resources, how to make a better law, and how to have a better resources, and how to get support more from the community.
When you were first promoted to be the commissioner for police, the morale in the police force wasn't high because a small segment of the population were engaging in smearing campaign, and some were, camping out or trying to attack family members of the police. How did you?
That's what you talk about is really true. Because when I took over as a command, the morale is quite low. The reason is, we're trying our best to protect the people of Hong Kong, but it seems like people are saying that we are suppressing their freedom. So our officers have to query about the meaning of our work. What is our meaning? So what I did is to try to, let them to repick their meaning of work. All right. So I think the first thing is I have to change the motto.
Yes.
Because in the past the motto is to serve with pride and care. Our officers consider that our pride are being taken away, and how come we still serve them?
Right.
So I changed the motto as we serve with duty, honor, and loyalty. So that is we have to be loyal to our police force. We have to be loyal to the society and the country. And by serving the people, it is already our honor. It doesn't matter whether they support us or not. It is our honor to serve them. So surprisingly, just change the motto. It seems that they pick up the meaning of their work. So things start to change better.
During the events in 2019, you were always at the front line to protect the citizen, and keep the morale high. Did you have to spend overnight at the police station?
So actually, I spend most of my time day and night in my office in a command room, because my officers are still fighting right out there, no matter how late they are, and I have to support them. I have to give them resources, and sometimes they have to rely me on the decision of what to do. So I have to be there.
Those days, if you look at the internet, there are some secret groups that plotting things against your personal safety, your family safety. How do you keep sane and strong?
So in fact, all the details of my family members are being doxed, and their workplace, their phone number, it's all over the place, and they get a lot of nuisance call, and people write to their company saying that please sack them, and I would say they are under big pressure. For me myself as a police officer, it's my duty to be under such a pressure, right? It comes with my duty, but it's not my family. I'm really thankful for them. They not just stand the pressure, and they also saying that they're very supportive to my work. And I would say at that time, those opposition, they're really evil. They are not just turning against us. They turn against our family members.
Children.
If you can still remember, in our Wong Tai Sin police quarters, they smashed all the windows of our police quarters, and our police children at school, they're being abused just because their parents are police officers. You see, the world is that crazy at that time. So I really also feel indebted to all my fellow officers and also their family members.
Did you start off wanting to be a police officer since young? And
Yes.
did you ever think you would become then the commissioner and now the secretary?
I mean, joining the police, it's my life dream. I'll say from young kids, because I live next to a police station. So I always like to be a police officer. It's never changed.
Right.
I'm lucky that I can do what I want. I never think of what rank I want to achieve. I would say the most interesting part of my work is at my junior stage, because I can kicking up the door, arresting a bad guy, doing all these frontline duties. Get more fun. But when I grow up, I have to be to have more responsibility but less fun. But I mean, it's my destiny.
Chris, in 2019, not only as the members of the police force had their morale crushed, but also the people of Hong Kong, I think, lost direction. A lot of people moved away, feared for the kids not being able to have a proper education, businesses not being able to open their doors. How did you feel about that?
I mean, actually, it's really heartbreaking. The world has been changed from people respecting each other. We're living in a peaceful environment. Everyone is able to speak out. What they think. Suddenly, if you are not on side with the mob, and then you will be assaulted, even set fire. It's really heartbreaking. This is not the Hong Kong that I used to be familiar with. So I mean, being a people of Hong Kong, and also in particular as a police officers, I think I have the not just the responsibility, I have the vision that I have to, make Hong Kong to get back to normality. So I think this is what make me, I have to have the vision that I have to, first of all, I have to curb the violence, and I want to bring back peace to the people, and I want the people to know actually what's happening and how they're being incited by those people with a will to endanger our national security, and they're not really doing good for Hong Kong. They're not simply fight for democracy. They're trying to bring a colour revolution in Hong Kong.
Yep. So how do you reinvigorate that Lion Rock spirit, that can-do spirit, to overcome challenges and obstacles?
Since my growing up, I've always been told by my parents that we love Hong Kong, we respect each other, and this is how Hong Kong grows. It's all because everyone take one more steps, and we to be just not thinking about ourselves. Think about something bigger. This is a society, and we have the family, and we have the country. But unfortunately, during 2019, people are just thinking about individual. I want to do something. Even the things that I do may violate the law, but this is something that I want to do. This is okay. I think this is really heartbreaking to see this kind of negative feeling. It sounds very naive, but I just want to protect Hong Kong.
Now we come to one of our fun rapid-fire segments where we get up close and personal to our guest today, Mr. Chris Tang. Now, I will fire some rapid questions at you. Please answer them as your answers come to mind.
Try.
You ready?
Yes.
What is your favorite place to eat?
A local tea restaurant,
Favorite comfort food?
like egg tart and local milk tea,
Biggest guilty pleasure?
chicken wing with luncheon meat, instant noodle.
Lovely. Last thing you search online?
Restaurant,
Favorite place to travel?
Shanghai,
Favorite sport?
jogging,
Favorite place in Hong Kong?
Sa Tau Kok,
First job?
please.
Who do you admire?
Artist Andy Lau.
Hidden talent?
I'm still searching.
Talent you wish you had?
Singing,
Your proudest moment?
when my daughters get married.
Nicest thing someone has said to you?
Some stranger said thank you during 2019.
If you were to write a book, what would it be about?
Police stories.
Title of your autobiography?
Safeguarding the city.
Qualities you admire most about your parents?
Honesty, integrity, and a kind heart.
Biggest fear?
Snake.
Biggest misconception about you?
I'm tough, but in fact I'm tender.
And advice to your younger self?
You never know how great is your responsibility, so work hard.
The legacy you wish to leave behind?
Enactment of Article 23.
Describe Hong Kong in one word.
Home.
Thank you, Chris.
Welcome.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. See you next time on Friday Beyond Spotlight.